tea and coke, which is a little diversion from my normal, which is I'm on a bit of a bourbon thing now, so I have acres on ice. So I've got a bit like bastardising.
Time and I know where everybody greets.
My very first profession was recruiting very exciting IT and accounting staff for banks and I can't even remember what they're called now, like small to medium enterprise businesses, that's it. So I mean, it wasn't wildly exciting work, shall we say, and I did it for a few years, had a lot of fun to begin with, and then decided this is like so boring, I want to do something more interesting. And I looked at kind of my life and what I enjoyed doing. The only thing that ever had any kind of longevity with me was food. It was a real passion of mine, was preparing food, and in particular spices was always something that I was interested in, and the kind of food I cooked always involved them. But you know, like when something's a hobby, you quite often can overlook it almost, like it's sort of almost like you just do it, you just do something in food. So I looked at different options within food and drink, one of them being chefing, and I was really lucky. My amazing sister was drunk in a bar and met Gordon Ramsay and sort of slurred at him, you know, can my little brother get a job? And he went, yeah, all right. So I did a few days work experience in his amazing Ramsay's on Royal Hospital Road, which was incredible and taught me never ever work in a kitchen. It's hell. And then I looked at opening like a little deli and doing like kind of lovely casual lunchy food, and the particular site that I was interested in came up for sale and then fell through, so again I kind of moved on. So I looked at developing my own range of products. It kind of was a natural thing, really, you know, if I can't work for someone else, do it myself. So I launched a range of fresh products that were like spice pastes that you could use either as a base for like a curry and stir fry, or you could literally just rub them on meat and fish and grill them, and they were all natural, fresh, full of herbs and spices. They were basically fucking delicious, but they were quite expensive. And then the recession hit. Went and saw my client. He was a sort of supermarket called Sainsbury's, which is essentially like, I don't know, like your kind of Target or Walmart, probably not quite as big. And it was very apparent that the things that needed to be to fix the business almost weren't going to happen with them. And because of the nature at the time, all the other supermarkets pretty much had sort of closed doors in terms of taking on new products. They were only really interested in their own brand products. Obviously they make more money. So I went for a walk around the block and decided, that's it, I'm done, enough, can't be dealing with this anymore. So I decided to stop supplying them, which was in August 2009, so that was the last run, so they pretty much came off shelf by the end of September. And all that year my job had kind of changed from launching this brand, developing products and doing all the kind of fun stuff to basically doing logistics. So dealing with truck drivers all over the UK, and it was just so boring and really hard work, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So as a bit of sort of an outlet, I started developing recipes for magazines and websites, literally just to vent steam almost and keep sane. So when I gave up the business, I was like, well, I kind of really enjoy that side of it, and it's probably more in tune to what I'm good at.
Right.
So I went away slightly to flee my bank manager, and whilst I was there, kind of dawned on me to write this book and reintroduce spices to people in print, and in a very simple way, and it kind of the 5 spice idea, which is the sort of theme for my book, no more than 5 spices, amazing, go and buy it. It sort of came about, and when I came back I was very lucky my agent was really behind it and pitched it, and it kind of happened organically that way.
My mind, I just needed something more.
In the entire book, I think we used 23 spices in total. There's no more than 5 per recipe, which will include ginger, garlic and chilli. So they are kind of simple. An idiot can make quite a lot of the recipes in the book.
I just needed something more this time.
My favourite is a curry called chicken kadahai, which is like a very simple North Indian curry that uses real basic spices like cumin, a bit of turmeric, ginger, chilli, garlic. Yeah, that's right. And it's almost more like a stir fry, so it's really fresh, lots of peppers, lots of cilantro, lots of chicken, and it cooks in like 15 minutes.
rights. I know what's on their minds.
It's funny because there's similarities, like, as in everyone's obsessed with food, everyone's obsessed with sort of the health element of food, but they're also obsessed with the sort of treat element of food, you know, like rewarding element of food. But they're different in terms of what we eat is quite different. So like more sort of staples here, obviously, you know, burger and chips, massive. I think in England, more sort of staple foods would be like literally, no word of a lie, like curries when you eat out, huge. I think New York's really got a very similar food culture, lots of Italian, lots of Thai, quite fresh flavours, fresh ingredients. Chinese is much bigger here than it is in the UK, in general. You know, they're not massively different, really. I mean, you guys have access to some really quality ingredients, you do beef very well, you've got amazing seafood along the coast and stuff. I think it's more, England's maybe a little bit more, I hate to say it, but like, I think a bit more open to sort of more flavours. So that sounds wrong actually, like, so for example, curries in England are huge, whereas I think people here are a bit like, oh my god, curry, because they just think it's sort of some sort of salt on your taste buds, which it really isn't. And I think maybe that's slightly where they differ.
And all the plans go fine, and I'm not home.
There's Heston Blumenthal, who's like this incredible, what he calls himself a molecular gastronomist, like mad science dude, has opened this incredible restaurant, very cunningly named Dinner, but it's incredible. And what he's done is sort of his twist on it, because his food is nuts. He owns a restaurant called the Fat Duck, which is one of the best restaurants in the world. So the twist on this restaurant was sort of taking old, sort of medieval British recipes and giving them his twist. I ate in a restaurant in San Diego actually called Terra, I think, but it was an Italian place with Alexis actually, and it was phenomenal. And they did, I can't remember what we had to start, but kind of the main thing we all had was the pasta, and it was just fresh. You could tell it was freshly made, fresh egg pasta, really yellow, like sunshine yellow. They might have even put like some saffron or something to dye it a little bit more. It was just delicate and incredible. In Chicago, I forget what it was called, but it was like Hunanese food, so it's like northeastern Chinese. And it was, so I was walking down Chinatown, like, where am I going to eat? And most people were like, that's the biggest place, you know, full of people, I'll eat in there. I was looking for the smallest little dive place full of like Chinese people slurping. The food was rock, like really hot, really tasty food, really great dumplings, it was amazing, yummy. Bossing my cousin Lara, who used to babysit me and cook fish fingers, but she used to grill them. And I was like, even at like 7, I was such a stubborn little child and knew what I wanted. So I used to take fish fingers out of the, you know, the grill and put them in a pan with butter. And then like, sort of Sunday roast when we were younger was really important. Like, I was never that keen on them when I was younger, really. I've kind of revived them, I really enjoy them now, but it was every Sunday we'd always have a roast all together, all sit down as a family. And it was really nice, really kind of important as well. And then I guess barbecues in the gardens, like shed loads of beer, sausages everywhere, children running around, trashing the garden.
And I'll phase out my mind.
I think one of the reasons why I'm so enthusiastic about it was spices and travelling all over the world, because I like to travel. Like, that's the answer to that one. But no, the spices they taste amazing. They've got a wicked history, like they're fascinating. I couldn't bore anyone unless it's just the garden. Very, very interesting. All the old trade routes through spices, they're amazing. Very old products. And we're very lucky, you can get them everywhere. So they're actually a sort of quite incredible ingredient that don't really know how to use. And they've kind of invigorated something in me that nothing has ever done that before, and I kind of would want to show people or try and, if I can give a little bit of that over to somebody, that would be only a good thing. And also just in terms of career, to do something that I love is, I know it's cheesy and everyone says that, but like, it is amazing. I get to go to bizarre places and hang out with like amazing old grannies in the hills, and they'll teach me how to cook with these ingredients that I love. So it's a dream come true. It's like pretty awesome.
Getting there is easy, it just